Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Dawson back here on our Google Classroom. It's so nice to see you today and logging into our classroom to see all the fun activities that we have available for you. We're going to go ahead and look at our schedule where we'll begin with our good morning song and our zoophonics song. So if you want to go ahead and sing those with me, here we go. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and get ready for our sounds and our letter names. Here we go.
Here we go. Allie Alligator says
A.
Bubba Bear says
B. B. B.
Katina Cat says
C.
Deer says
D.
Ellie Elephant says
E.
Fritzy Fish says
F.
Gordo Gorilla says
G.
Honey Horse says
H.
Annie Inchworm says
I.
Mary Jellyfish says
J.
K.O. Kangaroo says
K.
Lizzie Lizard says
L.
Missy Mouse says
M.
Nigel Night Owl says
N.
Olive Octopus says
O.
Pee-wee Penguin says
P.
Queenie Quail says
Q.
Robbie Rabbit says
R.
Sammy Snake says
S.
Timothy Tiger says
T.
Umbrella Bird says
U.
Vincent Vampire Bat says
V.
Willie Weasel says
W.
Xavier Fox says
X.
Yancy Yak says
Y.
Steve Zebra says
Z.
You did it! You learned all the sounds. Now, practice.
Very good. You guys always do such a great job singing that song with me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to explain today's activities. So we are now on our week 6 at-home learning packet, starting with our Monday. Even though today's Tuesday, we're always that one day behind. So today's theme is all about the pond or at the pond. So there's 6 different activity choices on your choice board of things that you can do at home together. So your first one is for reading, And that's where we will read together today here a fiction story about a very popular character, and you'll see in just a minute. But he is a type of animal who lives at the pond. So we're going to read that one together and look at the characters in the story. For Fine Motor, I'm going to be posting a video clip of our song, Five Green and Speckled Frogs. This is one that we've sung in our classroom before, and there's motions to go with it as well. Your kids should be familiar with this song, so it's a good one to practice and sing together at home. For your letters and sounds, your literacy focus, they talk about how pond begins with that letter P, P. So you're going to try to think of how many words you can find that begin with a P. Maybe pumpkin, right? Pizza. Think about how many words you can find, and maybe you can write them down too as you find them. For your math focus, you're going to use those number pieces from your number puzzle that look like this. Okay, and you can cut them up, and if you have blue paper at home, you can crumble the blue paper up and put them in a bucket maybe, and then you could search for the letters, and as you find the matches or the pairs, you can put them together. So 1 would go with that numeral 1. Okay, so 2 would go, the amount 2 would go with that numeral 2. So that's a fun way to do it too. For your art or sensory focus, if you have these materials at home, you can create a pond sensory bin. So maybe you have water outside in a bucket, and you can put rocks in there. If you have any plastic toy figures that are from the pond, you can use paper plates as the lily pads and maybe color them green. Just be creative and see what you can come up with that art focus. For your gross motor, one of the last activities you can do is you can play that lily pad leap game. So you can put pieces of green paper on the ground in a path and leap over them like a frog. And then another challenging way to do this is to maybe make them your yellow sight words or whatever level you were on, and jump to the sight word as you read it. Okay? So again, those activities are there for you to choose as you wish. They're not all mandatory. I just suggest you do a couple of them a day. They're just good activities to keep that learning going at home. Okay? So before we go, we have a story. And since our focus is at the pond, this is a fiction story about a character we've read many times in our classroom. Do you see who he is? Froggy, right? So here's a really good story about a character, and you'll see some other characters in the story too, and they're going to be baking a cake. So our title is Froggy Bakes a Cake. What do we know about other Froggy books? Do you remember? Yeah, usually there's a big problem, and the other ones that we've read by this author, Jonathan London, there were usually big problems that Froggy had to fix. So let's see what happens in this one. Froggy Bakes a Cake. It was Froggy's mother's birthday. Froggy was outside making mud pies. Froggy, called his father. What? Help me bake a cake for your mother. Oh, please, cried Froggy. I want to do it all by myself. So Froggy flopped into the kitchen. Flop, flop, flop. You'll need flour, said his father, and sugar and chocolate. I know, cried Froggy, and he pushed his chair against the counter and climbed up. So far, what characters have we seen? Froggy and his father, right, his dad. He took down the flour. He took down the sugar. He took down all the chocolate candy his mother had hidden since Halloween. We need lots of flour and sugar, said Froggy, and he dumped a large bag of flour and a whole box of sugar into a big yellow bowl. We need lots and lots of chocolate, said Froggy, and he dumped in 10 handfuls of chocolate-covered flies. Uh-oh. Do you see a problem so far? That's a lot of ingredients. Huh? We need milk, too, said Froggy's father. I know, cried Froggy, and he flopped to the fridge, flop, 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 and grabbed a carton of milk. Oops! He dropped it on his foot and spilled. And eggs and butter, added his father. I know, cried Froggy. He snatched a carton of eggs. Oops! He only broke 4 or 5. And just one stick of butter fell on the floor. Oh no, Froggy. Don't forget the baking powder, said his father. I know, cried Froggy, and he climbed up and he climbed up and took down the baking powder. Then he cracked 7 eggs into the bowl. Crack, 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 crack. And only a few shells fell in. And he put in the butter, bloop, and poured in the milk, glub, glub, glub. And finally he dumped in the whole box of baking powder, shloop. Uh-oh. He's gonna run out of room. Time to mix it all together, said his father. I know, cried Froggy, and he stirred it and slopped it and mixed it and plopped it. Then he dumped all the goopy cake batter into a cake pan and shoved the cake into the oven, and he sang, oogly boogly burbly bake, I make and I bake and I wait for the cake. Froggy, called his father. What? While you wait for the cake to bake, help me blow up the balloons. Froggy helped blow up the balloons. He blew, and he blew, and he blew, and he blew, pop! Now, said his father, help me set the table. Froggy helped set the table. Oops! He knocked over the lemonade, and the paper party tablecloth got all wet. Oh no. How do you think he feels? Yeah, probably disappointed, sad, frustrated. Froggy, called his mother. What? That smells so good. It's a surprise, yelled Froggy, and he flopped back to the kitchen. Flop, flop, flop. Come and get it, hollered Froggy. Froggy's mother and father flopped in and slid across the buttery floor, and Froggy said, Are you ready? And opened the oven door. Yikes! The cake exploded! Yelped Froggy's father. Oops! Cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. Too much baking powder, I guess. Oh no. It's good though, said his father, licking his fingers. Wait, cried Froggy. I'll be right back. Flop, flop, flop. Happy birthday, Mom, he said, and he handed her a fresh mud pie with a candle in it. I made it all by myself. Oh, Froggy, said his mother, this is the best birthday pie I ever had. What a mess, said Froggy's father. Let's go out to celebrate. Great, said Froggy. Yes, said Froggy's mother. And together they leapfrogged all the way to the bakery. Flop, flop, flop. The end. So I hope you guys enjoyed that fiction story of a character at the pond. Again, on our Google Classroom, I'm going to be posting a song for you guys to sing together at home, one that you should be familiar with. And I hope you enjoy the other activities for today, Tuesday. I will see you back here tomorrow on Wednesday. Bye.